So the other day, I saw a woman blowing leaves in her driveway. And along came a bike on the same side of the road that the woman was blowing leaves. And what you would expect to see happen, I would imagine, is that one of the two would move or stop doing what they're doing, or both. You know, the person on the bike would go to the side of the road, and the person that was blowing the leaves would gently put down their little blower until the person rode by. And yet neither of those things happened. And so obviously there was a lot of mass amounts of irritation as the biker had leaves blown upon them, and their activity blew some of the leaves back into the driveway, into the yard, because that's what bikes do when you drive past at a speed. And then I saw a person riding in a truck, and they were turning onto a road where somebody was walking across the road. Nothing illegal. The person was supposed to be able to walk across the road, but the truck didn't want to yield, and the person didn't want to go faster. And so they kind of met in this angry yelling out the window of the car, and the guy's walking and he's yelling at the guy in the truck, and it was a little bit of pandemonium and a lot of anger. And then the truck, when the guy finally crossed, sped off in anger, like just irritation. And then I was at Chipotle buying food just for lunch. And I noticed that, there's like 3,000 people that serve you, right? Like there's the first guy that gives you the tortillas, and then the next person puts the meat on, and then the next person puts the condiments on, and then the next person bags it, and then there's another person that takes the food or takes your money. And in most cases, not a single person in line thanked any of those people. And if they did thank somebody, they always thanked them at the end, at the transaction phase, right? Like where the money was exchanged and you got your gift of food, but usually not everybody else. And it got me to thinking that I feel like this is what's caused so much of our angst in our society right now, because everyone kind of has this chip on their shoulder that they're tired of giving, that they're tired of being taken advantage of by a myriad of things. And we've stopped doing the small kindnesses to one another, to which really make the world a better place. And that sounds so like, Pollyanna and like Disney World, but it does, right? Because how much nicer is it when people have given you the kinds of accolades that you feel like you deserve, even for small things. You hold a door, you want to hear a thank you. You give somebody something, you would like to hear a thank you or a please. When you're walking down the street and someone is walking at you, if you move and they just keep walking past and don't say anything to you, you feel a sense of slight, right? You just do. And after a while, over time, we just get really tired of the world. We get tired of each other. And then we have no capacity to care about what everyone else that's not in our circle is caring about or is feeling and is emoting. And so now we have this world right now where everyone just hates everybody else because we've lost the compassion for one another. And we've partly lost the compassion for one another because we don't feel a sense of appreciation from one another, and this is across the board. In all of those cases I mentioned, everybody had an opportunity to do a little bit more, right? And even in the Chipotle case, the workers behind the line, though adequate, were not exactly the most friendly people in the whole wide world. And why is that? Probably because they never get thanked every day, and they're probably tired of that, and they're probably getting yelled at by their boss and everything else. So like, everybody was waiting for someone else to do the right thing before they do. Everyone's waiting for someone else to show a sense of kindness before I'm going to show it for myself or for it show to other people. I'm tired of giving out, never getting anything in return. And I think that that's a flawed way of looking at things. And I honestly think that that is why we've lost the ability to care about one another. How could you when, you're constantly feeling like everyone else is a jerk? I'm the only one that does this. And it's a fallacy in thinking it is to think that you're the only one that does it. And what happens is we do it here, and here, but we forget about these other places here, and here. And that's the funny part, right? Like, so, everyone who's listening to this, I guarantee you is going, well, no, but I do it. I know that I do this, and this. Well, that's true. That's probably very true. And thank you for doing it on those situations. But there's a whole bunch of other situations that I'm sure that we haven't thought about where we show small unkindnesses to other people. Not looking your waiter or waitress in the eye would be one that I see often, or being dismissive or not saying thank you to all of the people. Again, the walking down the the street and moving gently. I mean, I was doing this with the girls, my children, the other day, walking down the street, had the children in tow. And this couple came right at me, didn't move, and seemed irritated by the fact that the amount of people we had in our family took up more space than they thought was appropriate. And it wasn't anything negative. It was just the way that they looked at us with the scowl on their face. And I felt, and my daughters are taught to say thank you or excuse me or whatever. So what's going to happen 10 years down the road when they keep doing that and people don't do it in return? You stop losing the momentum. So I challenge everybody today, please, think about those little niceties that make all of the difference, and see if we can't just bring it upon ourselves to do it to humanize other people, to make them feel valued, so that in turn, hopefully, if everybody tries, that we can in turn feel valued as well. And maybe through that small extension of kindness, we can start to see things and have a little bit more compassion for each other and a little bit more kindness for life and the world in general, and raise a lot more love. So